Heidi Danielle Bashore. It is written Memorizing Buddies Group, 2x2 Art Studio, and Bible Church of Buena Park. These are my two little girls. And I'm going to be reciting Colossians 3. This is an amazing passage to me, and the whole book is especially beautiful because it teaches me about how Christ is supreme, and it's only because of his work on the cross that my sin is removed, and his life that has given me his righteousness, which allows me to freely and joyfully serve him. I'm going to be doing the 95 NASB version, and Colossians 3 is especially dear to me because my beloved and I, 7 years ago today, had part of it recited at our wedding. And I'm going to add on chapter 4, verse 1, because it flows with the thought. If then you have been raised up with Christ, keep seeking the things above where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. Set your mind on things that are above, for you have died, and your life is hidden with Christ in God. And when Christ, who is our life, is revealed, then we also will be revealed with him in glory. Therefore, consider the members of your earthly body as dead to immorality, impurity, passion, evil desires, and greed, which amounts to idolatry. For it is on account of these things that the wrath of God will come. And in them you also once walked when you were living in them. But now you also put them all aside: anger, wrath, malice, slander, and abuse of speech from your mouth. Do not lie to one another, for you have laid aside the old self with its evil practices, and have put on a new self, who is being renewed according to the image of the one who created him. A renewal in which there is no distinction between Greek and Jew, circumcised and uncircumcised, barbarian, Scythian, slave and free man. But Christ is all and in all. And so, as those who have been chosen of God, holy and beloved, put on a heart of compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience, bearing with one another and forgiving one another. Whoever has a complaint against anyone, and just as the Lord forgave you, so also should you. And beyond all these things, put on love, which is the perfect bond of unity. And let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, to which indeed you are called, to one body, and be thankful. And let the word of Christ richly dwell within you with all wisdom, as you teach and admonish one another with psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with thankfulness in your hearts to God. Wives, be subject to your husbands, as is fitting in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives, and do not be embittered against them. Children, in all things, obey your parents in all things, as this is well-pleasing to the Lord. Fathers, don't exasperate your children so that they may not lose heart. Slaves, in all things obey your masters herein, not only with external service as those who merely please men, but with sincerity of heart, fearing the Lord. Do your work heartily, as for the Lord, rather than from men, knowing that it is from the Lord you will receive the reward of your inheritance. It's the Lord Christ whom you serve. And he who has done wrong will receive the consequences for the wrong which he has done, and that without partiality. Masters, grant to your slaves justice and fairness, knowing that you have a master in heaven.